The B339. We woke up this morning to this. The mountains have gone. We have a lovely mist. It's just full of strange noises. Abraham was still there though, so I took a few photographs of the surrounding area, showing trees and various artistic light, and then it was decided we would leave. That's one hell of a hill. The route today was straightforward, through the mountains. Figured there wouldn't be an awful lot to talk about, going from village to village, seeing the various peoples with their things to sell, unusual teapot at the side of the road, going past lovely lorries, looking at the mountains in the distance and going through the rice fields, the same old usual day. So I figured this was going to be a rather short video, but I didn't know what was happening. The scenery was lovely and we knew we were heading into these mountains somewhere along the line. We were passing various waterfalls which were absolutely stunning, rivers running alongside the road that we kept stopping and looking at. But the route that we were going to take was going to take us along the B339. On paper, this looked like a really simple route, up the A4, which took us through various towns, although we did go down a one-way system the wrong way and got turned around by the locals, that then led us through the market that took us into the bus station to get ourselves out, but we did it. Met a whole load of dogs on the route. We passed the usual rather grand temples, and then we stopped for breakfast in this lovely roti shop. Lovely spicy rotis for Peter, some nice plain ones for me, and then I decided that I wanted to do some driving. The roads were going to be very boring, so I got in the tuk-tuk and I started to drive while Peter took some photographs. I had one job again, to turn left after so many meters, and I missed it. Then we realised that the roads were not going to be quite as boring as we thought because we were really heading into the mountains. So with the gradients that I had been going up and down, Peter decided he would drive and I would take photographs from the back. We had turned onto the B339 by this point off the A4, and we'd begun to enter into the tea plantations, and they were stunning. The views were amazing. The roads curved left and right. A gradient was definitely going up and up, and we were loving every minute. Little ladies and people were wandering along the pathways. The tea was growing everywhere you looked. Think Muna, but with more trees. We entered into the first of the various plantations we went through, and again the road just continued to climb. It climbed and it climbed. At places it was not the best road. They were doing their best to repair it, but we got through. These beautiful trumpet flowers, they grow up in Muna as well, absolutely stunning things. People were picking tea and look at that tree by the way, absolutely, look at the redness. Can you see the level of the cloud? We are heading towards these clouds. We carried on climbing up, stopping for a moment every now and again, because the road was a bit bumpy, to take videos, make the scenery look so gorgeous. It is so lovely up there, really is lovely up there. And the road was still climbing. It wasn't a big deal for us, we could do this. We saw these guys actually building the road. Putting the base layer, and again more trumpets, but you can see now we're really getting quite close to these clouds and we're still going up. They are beautiful flowers, are they not? We eventually got to an elevation of 130 meters. Pretty close to the top, we thought. We carried on going. You can see the roads backing on each other. But no, every now and again it would go down a little bit and then it would go back up. We passed a couple of temples, even this deep into the forestry or tea plantations. And again, you can see how much they've cut away into the mountain to build these roads. This was lovely. This was a root of a tree that had pictures in. Amazing sound of insects. And then this little doggy is objecting to us being here. Whoa. This is in the middle of the tea plantation, it's an incredible forest. The roads varied between good, bad and absolutely awful. They were doing their best to keep them going, but we were shaken around so much. Found this beautiful waterfall. Look what we found! It's beautiful. So this is the never-ending road that just keeps going higher and higher and higher. It was a pleasure just to stop every now and again and let our bones and our necks and our shoulders recover from the jolting and the shaking they'd been going through. We came up to a viewpoint where there was full of monkeys, and again you can see the cloud line. We are so close.
Yeah, it's good, thank you. You? Yes, perfect. Nice way. Nice way that way. Yeah. Very nice that way too. Yeah? Yeah, it's go over tea plantation. Okay, yes.
We said our goodbyes, took a final look at the view and headed up the road. We still haven't quite reached the top, but we're officially in the clouds now. Anybody coming to Sri Lanka, forget the train. You've got to do the B339. We found tree ferns and British bracken. We were that cold up amongst the clouds. I mean, it was proper in the clouds. Beautiful to look at. I mean, the tree ferns growing are just stunning, and purple flowers amongst the greenery, and yet the road was still going up. I'm not exactly sure when the actual transition of going down started, but suddenly we had made it to the other side. We were coming down faster than we were going up. We'd used half a tank to get up, and we used barely a quarter of a tank to come back down the other side. Through more tea plantations, seeing the ladies collecting all the tea, the paths backing back and forth on each other. The whole trip is so amazing, and yet our bones were being shaken, rattled to the point of such extremes that we had to stop every 10-15 minutes, literally just to put ourselves back into an equilibrium. The roads are beautiful, tiny little communities all around the little places that we were staying, water flowing, trees, clouds. As I said, a beautiful, beautiful drive. This beautiful river flowing down. So peaceful after the shaking of the road. The road looked okay. It was just when you drove upon it, you couldn't see the potholes. It was just a bumpy road. And the rickshaw was rattling and we were shaking so much. But it was amazing. Huge logs by the side of the road, big bamboo growing here and there, lone trees and bushes. It is the place to go. We turned up in the middle of a town. We don't even know where this town appeared for, because one minute we were in tea plantation, then we were in the middle of a town, then we were in tea plantation again. This was amazing. Peter pointed out somebody had spent a lot of time building this wall into the embankment. People's washing was hanging over the rocks, and then we passed through another town where the kids were coming home from school, past temples, more and more tea. We thought we were riced out. By the time we finished the day, I think it took us 6 hours in total. We have totally seen enough tea to last us for a long, long time. This is a reservoir not far from where we were heading to, Adams Peak. We kept looking out for the mountain, but again, more tea and people walking. I was cold by this point. I had wrapped myself up in the back of the tuk-tuk and I was still cold. Some lovely flowers. These are morning glories. We have these in the UK. Then we turned a corner and there it was, Adams Peak. Hidden in cloud in the first photograph, but definitely there for the second. We drove across the top of the dam, gazing out at the water, and then we arrived. We arrived at our hotel, the Grand Adams Peak. It has a swimming pool, but it's too cold to go in it. It has lovely views all around, and this is Adams Peak at night. We have now not only circumnavigated Sri Lanka, we have reached her heart.